Alright, what's up strangers? I'm Eric Harrison and welcome to the Death Twitch Horror Review. So, we're doing a franchise review. Now, you know what that means. You don't know what that means? Well, let me inform you. What that means is I am now going to proceed to hate on all the entries in the franchise that you love, and I'm going to love all the ones that you hate. And don't even think for a fucking second that's not exactly how this shit's going down. Alright, well, what's that? Oh, what's that I hear? Everybody seems to love Psycho 2 and think it's so great? Let's talk about that.
I have a petition here signed by 743 people against Norman Bates' release.
Madam, please sit down. This matter is being represented by the district attorney.
Norman was not convicted of murder. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Don't you realize they're going to release a homicidal maniac?
You to sit down, Mrs. Loomis.
It's all too obvious. Our courts protect the criminals, not their victims.
Norman Bates is judged, restored to sanity, and is ordered released forthwith.
It's 22 years later, and Norman Bates is coming home.
I own a motel not too far from here. And you'd be welcome to spend the night in one of the empty rooms if you'd like. Good night, Mary.
And he's back in business.
Who is this? My mother is dead. I'm telling you, there was a note on that wheel from my dead mother.
Norman, it couldn't be your mother. It had to be someone else.
But trust her. She would never do anything to hurt me. No. She'll kill you. I know she will.
Look behind you!
No, I won't do that. You can't make me kill her.
22 years later, Norman Bates is home. Psycho 2.
It's starting again.
Okay, so Psycho 2 came out in 1983 and directed by Richard Franklin, who had previously done the movie Road Games with Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, the studio really wanted to get Jamie Lee Curtis in here for Psycho 2, considering her mother was the star of the original, but unfortunately they were not able to make that happen. It would have been pretty cool, though. Alright, so the screenplay for this movie was written by Tom Holland, who you probably know as a screenwriter from other classics like Child's Play and Fright Night. It's also worth noting that the cinematographer on Psycho 2 was Dean Cundey of Halloween fame. So after Alfred Hitchcock's death in 1980, Robert Bloch, the writer of the original novel, released a sequel called Psycho 2, naturally. But the studio was not too psyched about his take on Psycho 2. He made it very different from what the movie wound up becoming. It's about Hollywood is like basically exploiting Norman Bates and making, or they're trying to make a movie about him, and apparently he escapes a mental asylum to go and try and stop the movie. Think Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back with Norman Bates, you know, crying about his mom all the time.
What? We gotta stop that stupid movie from getting made. Come on, Silent Bob. We're going to Hollywood.
But yeah, the studio was not too keen on that idea, probably because they were poking fun at the studio system itself, and they just pretty much just ignored Robert Bloch and his novel and decided to go in their own direction with some more sequels. I assume because in the 70s, the slasher genre picked up and became real popular, and by the 80s, it was fucking going full steam. It was pretty much at its peak, and I'm sure that the studio wanted to exploit that fact, and after all, they were basically had the rights to the grandmother of all slashers, so why not go ahead and make some more psychos and exploit the whole slasher genre that was going on at the time. So it was actually supposed to be a TV movie originally, and unless they could get Anthony Perkins, in which case they would give it a big enough budget to make it a full feature-length film and release that, you know, to the public. Apparently, Anthony Perkins had lived in the shadow of Norman Bates and Psycho for the last 20 years. What I gather is that he wasn't real happy about living in the shadow of Norman Bates, you know. So he turned down the role when they first offered it to him. So they're like, okay, fine, let's look for another Norman Bates. They started looking for other actors, and apparently the word through the grapevine is that Christopher Walken almost became our new Norman Bates. Can you even imagine that? I think that would be pretty interesting. That would have been pretty crazy. Oh, should I try my Walken impression real fast just so we can all have a laugh at how dumb I am? All right, here we go. Let's see. What's something? Oh, yeah. It needs more cowbell. Oh, God, it's terrible. What's something Norman Bates would say about, like, his mom? Mother, don't kill those young ladies, mother. I'll go, wow. Okay, let's pretend like you didn't see any of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
That didn't happen. Anyway, moving on. So, this came around to Anthony Perkins, and he decided, fuck that, no one else is playing Norman Bates, I'll play Norman Bates. Let's talk about the plot of the movie. Should I give it all away in the plot? It is a movie that expends an enormous amount of energy trying to trick you, the audience. So if you've not seen it, again, here's your spoiler warning. Go see it, and then come check out my review. But yeah, here's the plot, is that 22 years later, after the events of the original Psycho, Norman Bates has been living it up in some insane asylum. He gets released, and for some reason they let him go back to the motel in the house where the crimes were committed. And everybody's all hunky-dory with this, except for Lila, the sister of Marion Crane from the original movie, is really pretty fucking pissed off that he's being released, and she wants to see him back behind bars. Her and her daughter, another little mother connection going on there, decide to try and drive Norman crazy so that he'll kill again, or at least look like he's going to kill again, so that they can have him put back into the asylum. But here's the thing, though. I really don't understand why they let Norman go back to his house and the motel. Like, you don't do that. You don't let Ed Gein go back to his fucking farm and his like, torture dungeon or whatever. You don't do that. What the hell kind of shit is that? Look, is he rehabilitated or whatever? You think he's fine? Okay, cool. But you don't. It's like, hey, look, you can go back out into the world. Go whatever. Do whatever you please. Don't kill peeps, first of all. And you're just not allowed to go back to that motel. Sorry, guy. But no, they're fine with it. Hey, go back to your scene of the crime. Go back and have some bad memories. Have them trigger some shit in your fucked up brain so you start killing people again. Whatever. It's funny, too, because even the doctor says, like, if you come back here, there's a chance that being here will trigger those bad memories. And Norman's like, yeah, fuck it. Also, another thing I think is really funny that we will be seeing throughout the course of these sequels is that aside from Lila Loomis, aside from her, everybody else has no problem giving Norman a million chances.
I'm the one who urged Mr. Statler to give you the job. I think it's very Christian to forgive and forget, don't you?
I sure do.
So I think that's really funny how everybody is so like, let's give him 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 chances. It's fine. Oh, if he keeps killing people, that happens once in a while, man. It's okay. It's just Norman. Lila and her daughter are trying to like trick Norman into thinking he's going crazy again so that he will go crazy again. But Lila is completely okay with her daughter going and being alone in the house with this guy that she's afraid of being a killer. Like, her whole passion burning inside of her soul is to put this guy back away because she's certain he's going to kill again. But, oh yeah, go ahead, daughter. Go up there into the scary house with this psycho. Make sure you take a knife out of the drawer and put it right in his hands. And, like, are they trying to die? Everybody just wants to give Norman a knife. Or, like, at the diner that he works at for some reason, and I don't understand why he works at this diner. It might be a rehabilitation thing, because he's got the motel. If he needs a business, can't he just go back to his motel? But anyway, even there at the diner, they're trying to put knives in his hand. This guy's like, hey, chop up some lettuce. And then asshole comes in, played by Dennis Franz, who looks like such a sleazeball that just looking at him makes you want to go scrub yourself in the shower, go to church, confess your sins, find Jesus at the River Jordan, and be baptized. He's that gross looking. But even if this guy starts calling out Norman, like, go ahead and grab the knife and stab me, you psycho. Everybody just wants to see the psycho come back out in this guy. And poor Norman is just like, no, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm trying to keep this shit buried. One of the things that I don't like about this movie is that I feel like it ruins Lila Crane's, or in this case, Lila Loomis's character from the first one, who I liked in the first one. The sister of Marion Crane. We liked those characters. We didn't want to see Marion die, but she did. It was sad. Then we got introduced to her sister, and it was like, okay, well, here's something to fill the void. And we got attached to her, and now in Psycho 2, they just made her a complete raving fucking bitch. She's a complete fucking bitch, and she annoys the shit out of me in this movie. And she went and she married her dead sister's boyfriend. That's how much class this lady's got. she's been fucking her dead sister's boyfriend for 20 years. Daughter character played by Meg Tilly, which would be the sister of Jennifer Tilly. She looks like Joan Jett before she discovered rock and roll. And there's something off about her. Something that distracts me about her performance. Is it her voice? Is it the way she delivers lines? I'm not sure. There's something extremely distracting about her. So I actually do wish that they had gotten Jamie Lee Curtis instead. I think she would have been she would have fulfilled the role better in so many different ways. Now here's something to talk about is that apparently on the set, while they were making the movie, Anthony Perkins overheard Meg Tilly talking about being jealous that everybody, all the press was talking to Anthony Perkins about reprising his role as Norman Bates. And so I guess she said something along the lines of, why is he getting all the attention? And apparently he overheard this and decided, fuck that bitch. And he hated her for the rest of the shoot is what I hear. And he tried to get her fired and everything. All right, so let me talk about, I think, what might be my favorite scene in pretty much the whole franchise. And just because of how, how cheesy and stupid it is. So Norman and Meg are trapped in a room. They know there's a killer in the house somewhere, but Norman won't let them leave because he's worried. He's worried it's either a killer out there or it's him, and he doesn't know which. He kind of locks them in a room, and he's like, we'll just wait till morning. But he's like losing his mind, right? He's going insane. And so she's like, all right, I'm stuck in here with this guy. She goes and like sits on the bed or whatever. He's looking out the window. He's got his knife. He's looking out the window, and he goes, I'm becoming confused again, aren't I? And she goes, no. He immediately turns around and threatens to kill her for fucking disagreeing with the fact that he's not psycho. Oh God, I'm sorry. Every single time I watch this, I just burst out laughing because this
I'm becoming confused again, aren't I?
Of course not.
Don't lie to me.
What do you mean I'm not psycho? Like, what the fuck? Okay, dude, you're psycho. It's cool, put down the knife. Please don't kill me, psycho. I'm like crying. Oh my God, I love that scene. Then it doesn't end there because it still gets funnier. So then it continues. Now this is a whole scene. I'm sorry, hopefully I can keep this together. This is a whole scene in the movie that wasn't in the script. Anthony Perkins felt that his character and Mary needed to have some kind of intimate moment together, so he had this written specifically for them to have this moment. So after he goes psycho on her, and then he she's all being, maternal, get it? Maternal, and like holding him and whatnot, and he's like, you smell like sandwiches. She's like, what are you talking about? Toasted cheese sandwiches that my mom used to make. I'm sorry. So he's totally hamming it up in this scene. He's gotta be just trying to fucking ham it up because it's so over the top. So he's like, I can't remember anything good about my mom.
Except those sandwiches.
Except those sandwiches. It starts like crying. Sorry. Those sandwiches. Oh my God. Thank you for that moment, Anthony. Oh, you've made it all worth it. You can play a drinking game or a smoking game with this movie and you'll get fucked up. Take a drink every time somebody says the word mother or Norman.
Norman Bates.
Norman.
Mother?
Norman.
I'm Norman.
Norman Bates.
Mother. Mother.
Norman.
Norman?
Mother. Your mother. My mother.
Your mother.
Yes, mother. I'm.
Norman, there's no one there.
Yes, mother. Yes, mother.
Mother. Norman.
Mother.
Your mother. Your mother. My mother.
Norman's mother.
Mother.
Norman.
Oh, mother. Mother.
Norman. Your mother.
Yes, mother.
Norman! Norman, this is your mother. Norman! Norman! Norman, are you there?
Now, Jerry Goldsmith did the score for this, and I usually have nothing but good things to say about Jerry Goldsmith, but I missed the Psycho themes. I missed the Psycho music. We don't get it in here, like, at all, except maybe at the beginning when they show us a clip of, from the original movie. We don't get really anything, and ultimately, the score produced by Jerry Goldsmith just makes this sound like the TV movie it was originally meant to be. I missed the original score. Could have used it in here. I think it would have enhanced a lot of scenes. The original Psycho was a big shell game and a magic trick that Hitchcock played on his audience. So, naturally, Psycho 2 feels the need to live up to that. There has to be a twist. There has to be multiple twists, because that's what the original did, so Psycho 2's got to repeat that. So, they do a fairly good job of definitely misdirecting the audience constantly. It's just nothing but misdirection. This whole movie is like, look over there, what's happening here? Oh, how do you explain that? It gets to be too much. Now, see, this is why I'm not the biggest fan of Psycho 2, because Psycho 1, like I said, Alfred Hitchcock pulled this big old shell game where he just kept kind of like, where is it? Where is the big trick? What's it going to be? And then when he revealed it, it did shock audiences. They didn't see it coming. But he still did all of that by telling a streamlined, simple, elegant story that never got too out of control or too ahead of itself. Unfortunately, with Psycho 2, it has to overcomplicate things because the audience may be looking for those tricks and those twists, and it wants to deliver a twist because it's Psycho 2. It's got to live up to having a great twist, but it just overly complicates things and muddles everything up. It's just too complex. I definitely prefer the elegance and the simplicity of the original Psycho. Well, that's all I'm going to say about Psycho 2, so let's wrap this sucker up. Again, I know everybody out there worships this movie and puts it on a big-ass pedestal and thinks it's so great. I think it's pretty good, but it's not my favorite. In fact, now I know this one's going to blow some minds. I think Psycho 2 is my least favorite of the original 4 movies. So, I have to give it a low-ish rating that may enrage some of you, but it's just how I feel. So, I'm gonna give it a 2 3/4 out of 5. Decent sequel, mad props, but in my heart, I'm not connecting with this movie. It's not like everyone else does. But anyway, still worth a watch. Check it out.